are you doing?
I'm lovely. How are you doing, Stephen?
I'm doing excellent. Because I have a few extra minutes with you, I like working in a few other types of questions.
Okay.
So starting things off, what TV series would you love to guest star on?
Oh my, that's a really interesting question. I haven't thought about that recently. I, God, if there were another season of Mandalorian, Mandalorian, oh my God, was so good.
There is. They're filming it next year.
Oh.
God, I think I know what got it. What movie or movies do you think you've seen the most?
Oh my gosh, that's hard. Devil Wears Prada is one, and we're celebrating like the 15th anniversary of it. Legally Blonde is another one I've seen like a zillion times. Color Purple I've seen a zillion times. Those are like a few.
Sure. You produce. If you could get the financing to produce anything tomorrow, what would you make and why?
Wow. I mean, we have a couple shows that we're trying to make right now. I really want to do a story about Tracy African Norman and the trans woman who was a model in the 70s who was on a Clairol hair color box in stores, drugstores all over the country, and no one knew she was trans. And when her secret got out, her career ended, but then she didn't give up. That's incredible. She's incredible. I just interviewed her for my podcast, Laverne Cox Show. Incredible story.
That actually could be really cool to see. So I'm curious, so getting into Jolt, so you take the project clearly because you want to geek out with Stanley Tucci about The Devil Wears Prada, and then you find out that you really don't have any scenes. So were you like storming off the set on what day? What happened?
Well, I knew I didn't have any scenes with him, but I had one scene and he was lovely. I did not mention Devil Wears Prada, but obviously I girded my loins. Stanley was one of the reasons, but Bobby was one of the reasons, Kate was one of the reasons, Tanya Wexler, our director, was a huge reason, and the script is a reason. And I've never done an action film. I love the comedic elements of it. I needed comedy in my life at the time. And I got to do some things I haven't done before. And that is really important to me as an artist. And I love action movies. I've loved action movies for a really long time. So I'm so happy I get to be in them.
I love learning about the behind the scenes of the making of a movie. So what do you think might surprise people to learn about the making of Jolt?
Wow. And we shot in London and Sofia, Bulgaria. I don't know if that would surprise people. What I didn't know is that whenever you have a gun on camera, you have to, munitions expert or whatever comes and makes sure and shows you the gun is not loaded. Every time anyone has a gun, and that is because there was I think it was a movie called The Crow. There was an actor who was shot during that film. We have those protocols now in place because of that, and I didn't know that because I'd never done a film like this. So I don't know if the general public knows that, but yeah, I didn't.
No, I think a lot of people don't realize the safety precaution. I think a lot of people actually don't know, casual fans, what really goes on a movie set and how it's maybe not as luxurious and glamorous as maybe some people might think.
It often isn't. I mean, like there's so many moments with that are just, you have to get in the muck and it's muck and it's in a lot. Safety is huge. So safety is like hugely important with everything on a set. I mean, anything can happen. I mean, like there's equipment all over the place and this equipment's falling on people got injured. So safety is a huge issue and you really want to make sure you're with people and working with a team who's really attuned to that and looking out for your safety. Safety first, really.
What's the secret for playing a good detective on film?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if I did it well or not, but I know I had a ton of fun. I know that I love that Angela is, curses like a sailor and is really foul-mouthed, but I understand that that's like a defense because she works in a mostly male environment and she wants to be taken, seriously, not effed with, not fucked with, I'll just curse. But I love that she's really serious about the job, and she likes order. And so this whole thing about rules and order, I found really interesting for her. And I think it's like it becomes this code for her in a really chaotic world. Police detectives see a lot of crazy, intense stuff. And so I think like rules kind of help like ground her and probably other, police officers in real life in something that is a really chaotic world that doesn't always make sense.
I am looking forward to Shonda's next series, Inventing Anna. What can you tease about that project and who you play?
Oh, I had so much fun. I play Casey Duke, who is a personal trainer and a life coach. She is a real life human being. And Inventing Anna is based on the real life story of Anna Delvey, aka Anna Sorensen, who sort of was the fake heiress who made the tabloids a number of years ago here in New York. She was, she sort of said she conned the, sort of socialites of New York City. And she was a con woman who was, had this really fascinating story. Julia Garner, who plays her, is stunning. I did a movie with Julia Grandma in like 2015, and she was brilliant in that. And obviously Ozark is like, her body of work over the years is just incredible, and she's so young. And as Anna, she's insanely good. She's funny, and she's just, there was this one scene where I was just like, oh, Julia is just deep. Like Julia is a really deep actress, and she has a deep understanding of like human psychology and behavior.
For fans of Shonda's work, how do you think it compares to previous projects, or is it something completely different?
That's a good question. I'm a fan of Shonda's work, and it feels really different than her other work. It feels really different than the other projects. It's not Bridgerton, it's not Scandal, it's not Private Practice, it's not Grey's. It's something very different tonally, but it's, the table reads, and I knew what was going to happen, but the table reads, you're like on the edge of your seat because she has a way of writing that just pulls you in, and you can't look away, and you want to know what's going to happen next. And then you can't believe what's happened next, even when it's based on a true story and you read the, New York Post article on it or whatever, New Yorker. It's gifted. Shonda's gifted within the whole team of writers and directors. It was a really good group of people, and I got to keep the clothes.
Is that now in the contract?
For the first time. It's not in my contract, but Shonda Lynn is very generous, and Lynn, who works with wardrobe, is incredible, and I got to wear some awesome clothes, and I got to keep a lot of them, and I'm very excited.
The real perk of the gig. I am a big fan of James Spader, and you got to work with him on Blacklist. What was that experience like? I'm curious what that was like.
I'm a ginormous fan of James Spader since Pretty in Pink, even though he was a horrible and awful person in Pretty in Pink. I am a huge fan. Boston Legal was this. I mean, I won't know. Let's just all his credits. He's incredible, and I was very nervous to work with him, but I love the show. And they reached out to me to do a guest spot like a couple of years ago, and I started with the 4th season and started watching, and I was like, oh, this is cool, but like I didn't really get what was going on, and they like approached me with Dr. Perillos, and I was like, oh, this is really good. And so I had some time, so I started from the 1st season, and I was like, I'm blown away by the show, first of all. I don't know if you're up to date with what's going on. And woo, the season finale is tomorrow. I love that show. And Spader is he's an executive producer. So what was amazing for me about watching him work, because I produced and acted before, but I have to take the producer hat off. He was able to be in the scene, but then also notice what's going on with the TV screen, right? And he's aware of like what's going on set and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. And so he's very much producing while he's acting, which is, I don't know how he does it, honestly. I guess he's just been doing it for a very long time. He is really, really specific, very specific about what he wants, and he knows what he wants. And it's it's just really clear. I mean, it's not, because some actors play and they try different things, and he knows exactly what he wants to do. And he's very generous too. He's very, I mean, Red Reddington is intimidating, but James is a pussycat, and he's really sweet. And, but you have to earn it. You have to earn it.
I got to stop. I have to stop there. I'm just going to say congrats on everything. Wish you nothing but the best. Good luck with the rest of your speed dating today.
Thank you, Stephen.